Okay, let's try some harder problems with compound interest. Here's the first one. You want to invest $8,200 for 2 years. Your bank offers you a choice of either A, 6% per annum, compounded monthly, or B, 5.8% per annum, compounded daily. Which option will be better for you and by how much? Okay, so I'm going to have to look at both options and then compare the results. I've got my trusty formula, so let's have a go. Alright, let's do A first. A says 6% per annum, compounded monthly. Okay? Well, my future amount is what I'm looking for. My principal was up here, $8,200. My rate was 6% per annum. So how much is that per month? It's going to be 6 divided by 12, which is a half. Half a percent, which is 0.005. If you have trouble, you can always do this by going 0.06 divided by 12. Okay, that will give you this number. And in number of terms, well, we're doing monthly for 2 years. How many months in 2 years? 24. So let's go over here. Make sure you can still see that. So my future amount is my principal times 1 plus the rate to the number of terms. Okay, so I'm looking for principal is 8,200 times here 1.005 to the power of 24. Straightforward. Calculator. 8,200 times 0.005 to the power of 24. My final amount, option A, is 9242. Round off to the nearest cent, 71. Okay, option B. Underline A and B. Option B is 5.8% per annum, compounded daily. Okay. So, future amount is what I'm looking for. Principal hasn't changed. Now this time I'm going to have to be very careful with the rate. I'll move that over a bit now. Okay, so you can see the rate has to be 5.8% per annum, 0.058, divided by the number of days per annum, the number of days in a year. Banks always work on 365 days in the year, even if it's a leap year. They still go 365. Isn't that nice? You got one measly day more interest in a leap year. So, I'm not going to write this number as an actual number, because if I do, I'll round off too much. Let me show you what happens. Okay? 0.058 divided by 365, and my calculator actually gives me a number in scientific notation. It goes 1.5890410996. It says E, which is times 10 to the power of -4, which means it's actually 0.0001589041096. There's a lot of decimals here, there's a lot of mess, a lot of mucking around. I'm actually just going to leave it like this. And just be careful when I type it into my calculator. Rather than, see, if I round this off to 1.6, I'll overestimate by quite a bit. If I round this off to 1.589, I'll probably still get an underestimate of what it really is. So, I'm just going to leave it as that. There is one alternative. You can do this once in your calculator, and then when you come to use it, press ants on your calculator. I'll explain how to do both. Let's go. Future value amount is principal 1 plus the rate to the n. Oh, I haven't written n down. It's daily for 2 years. Daily for 2 years, 2 lots of 365, which should be, I think, 720 times 2, 730. Okay, 730. All right, that is $8,200 times 1 plus 0.058 divided by 365. I'm going to need a barrier here, 365 to the power of 730. Now, if you're careful, you can type that straight into your calculator. You probably want to put some brackets around that bit. It will work. 8,200 times brackets 1 plus 0.058 divided by 365 brackets to the power of 730. That is 9208.48 to the nearest cent. If you have trouble getting this into your calculator, there is an alternative. If you do it first, so on your calculator, you're going to type in 0.058 divided by 365 equals. It'll give you a nice number. Then you're going to go 8,200 times bracket 1 plus and find your answer button. On my calculator down the bottom, but wherever it is on yours. 1 plus, that means the last answer I had, brackets, to the power of 730. Either way will get you the same answer. Okay? So, where was I? This number, 9208.48. Okay, have I answered the question yet? No. The question said, let me remind you, the question said, which option is better and by how much? So, option A was 9242.71, option B was 9208.48. Which one's better? Clearly, option A. So, therefore, option A is better by how much? Well, it's just this number minus that number. Oh look, I've still got it in my calculator. By $34.23. Yep, that makes sense. $34.23.